to apologize for the lighting in this video. First off, I'm still trying to figure out my filming setup, and I think like I have lights over here, I have a light over here, and I need one more right there. So hopefully by my next video that'll be figured out and squared away, because I keep getting like shadows on my face. That's not cute. Hey everybody, it's me, Allie. We are here doing a baby try-on haul. Well, I have some face products, some lip products, a primer that I'm really excited for, and I'm not going to ramble anymore. I am just going to get into the haul. And the first thing I'm going to go with is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. It is a replenishing facial primer, and I have combo oily skin, but something about a good moisturizing primer that really just seems to kick that down. And if I want a little bit of like pore minimizing or something like that, I just throw pore minimizer on top of it. It comes in this adorable little bottle. Since I was just trying it, I got the little like grab and go version, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. It's $15. Is the formula, nice and thick. It smells a little bit beachy, which always reminds me of suntan lotion, but not bad, just a little bit beachy. Oh, one thing that I'm really excited about, especially since when it first came out, people weren't super into it. Like you didn't have to wet it. It was just weird. The Tarte Quickie Sponge, but they came out with a new one, and it's cute, and it's huge. It's huge. I got it because it's less than a beauty blender. It's nice and like bouncy, and it's shaped kind of like the Real Technique sponge. Where it has like the flat side and then the pointed side and all of that. I've been using a lot of brushes lately. My go-to brush is the IT Cosmetics Airbrush Blurring Foundation, the 101. I love this brush. It is my go-to, my jam, my whole life. But this was super cute. It's interesting. I was intrigued. So I picked it up. This is it when it's wet. It is like, it does get bigger when you wet it. So we'll see how this puts on some foundation. I also got this the other day from Box Lunch. It is my Deathly Hollow mugs, and it's hollow. So now I'm going to try to blend out my Hourglass foundation, and we shall see. I'm just going to see how it blends out. I like to blend out my Hourglass foundation in sections just because it dries really fast. It's shearing out a little bit of the coverage. We'll do a half and half. We'll do half with this guy and then half with my brush. I'm gonna put on just a little bit more of the foundation just to see. Usually two stripes of this gives me really nice medium, maybe a little bit more coverage. It's also been forever since I used a sponge. She said this was great for like blending out the Shape Tape concealer though, so I will try it with that today because it is the best. No, that blended out really nice. It's nice and soft, still gives me coverage, but not like, it doesn't look cakey. And I forgot, like when you use a wet sponge, it feels like nice and cool on your face. Because evaporation, science class in 8th grade. That was way before 8th grade. Science class in elementary school. Alright, that gave me a nice medium coverage. My skin looks super nice and like glowy right now. But not like, ugh, glowy, just like, glowy. So I'm going to be taking my Airbrush Blurring Foundation brush. Like I said, this is my, oh, so good. And I am going to do 2 stripes. first impression is that the brush is blending things out faster, but I feel like it'll blend out the concealer faster. The sides, pretty much the same. So, alright. I feel like I've also seen that the Hourglass blends out better with brushes rather than sponges, or that might just be the personal preference that I've seen around. Or I'm making that up. That's also possible. Alright. Look at that base. So one thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my NARS Radiant Creamy in Vanilla, because it's not as light as my Shape Tape. My Shape Tape is like strictly for highlighting the under eye. That blended out really nicely. I like that. Okay, so my foundation looks pretty dang great. I'm not sure if one side looks better than the other. I think it comes down a lot to personal preference. I still really love my brush. But let's see how this sponge handles my Shape Tape. I go really light with my Shape Tape. I only do like 2 dots, like the people who are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need that much. I mean, do what you want, but I don't need that much. So I will say that with the brush that I use, it's another IT Cosmetics brush. I think it's the blurring concealer or the blending concealer. This can be a little tricky to blend out. Like I have to go back in and use the foundation that's left on my foundation brush to just really kind of blur it in a little bit and keep it from having a sharp line. But oh my god, that blended beautifully. Like, damn. I'm using the flat edge. And you know what? I think I'm feeling saucy. I'll try to bake. Yeah, that blended out really, really nice. Way faster than it usually does when I use my brush. So, okay. I see you. I got this little sample-sized Honest Beauty, their invisible blurring powder. And I've used it. I haven't like baked with it yet because I never bake. I have to say, I like it. It feels nice and soft. Y'all are gonna see some serious powder raining down. Oh my god, I hate loose powder. I am the worst with it, and I hate it, and it hates me back. I like it because it doesn't like super brighten up my under eyes, but they still look, you know how like some powders make your under eyes look darker once you put them on, and it's like, but I just did all that work. I don't know, maybe that's just me. I hate loose powder. I don't know if that actually counted as baking, but I'm gonna say that I did it. Just because. Now, because I am the worst with loose powder, I'm just going to take my Bye Bye Pores on my brush to set the rest of my face. Because I love this stuff. I will be back once we move on to highlighter. It's mostly highlight and eyes, and then I have a lip product, so. Whoops! Alright guys, sorry. I just recently finally got the Laguna bronzer. I'm like way late on that train. And I have used it a couple of times, and I love it. So right now I'm just taking it on a fluffy powder brush. I'm just going to blend, actually towards the top of my cheekbone. I like sort of like carving out my contour and then sort of layering everything up on top of that, like, if that makes sense. If not, then I never claimed it would. But yeah, the pan is huge. It's a great product. $40 is insane. The final result is very pretty, I unfortunately have to admit. And because we're on my cheeks anyway, and whatever, I'm going to slap on a blush. And then I have not one, but 2 highlighters. Glow is life. I am taking a Tarte blush in something. Amazonian clay blush in a color I cannot remember at this moment, and I don't feel like dragging out the packaging for it. I'm really just going to focus that mostly on the apples of my cheeks, and then just sweep it back a little bit. So I get some of this color, sweep it back. Really nice subtle shade. I'll put it up on screen what color it is for you guys. I believe it is discontinued, which sucks. Why does discontinuing happen to good products? Why? Anyway, all right, now I have two highlighters, not one, but two. The first is the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Highlighter, Baked Gelato Swirl Illuminator in Charming Pink. I have the peach one. It is one of my favorite highlighters ever. Just gives such a nice subtle glow. Like there's a glow there, but it's not like a glow, you know what I mean? And it's not super metallic. Don't get me wrong, I love a good metallic highlight, but I generally for day-to-day like to go not so metallic, a little more subtle. And so I got the color Charming Pink, and it is so cute. Look at that color, it's so pretty. Really nice and cool toned. One thing I will say about the packaging, Laura Geller, I believe these are $26. Why no mirror, Laura Geller? Why? Why no mirror? So I'm just going to take this on a kind of fluffy, I guess you could use it to set powder. I use it to illuminate. I'm just going to swirl. And the crazy thing with these is that when you put them, like when you have them on the brush, you don't look like you have a lot of product. It's kind of like, oh, what? Actually put them on the face. I just gave a really nice, subtle, like, oh, catches the light just right. So good. Oh my God, that's just gorgeous. So pretty. Since it's the pink one, it's a little bit icy and just, so that was the one. Now we have the NYX Duochromatic Illuminating Powder. This is in Lavender Steel. I have the blue one too. This is just so pretty and I love it. And it kind of goes from like an icy white to real purple. So what I'm gonna do is take this brush, same kind of concept, fluffy. I'm just going to dip into that. One thing that I know about this highlight, you do not need a lot. And the first time I used the blue one, I'm just going to put this on the very tips of my cheekbones. The first time I used the blue one, I couldn't see it because it does depend a lot on the light. And then it's like, oh, nothing, 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 bam! Purple. Or blue in that case, but in this case, purple. I'm not sure if the camera is picking it up, but dang, that's pretty. Moving into eyes. I am a diehard lover of the Urban Decay this all day, every day, and then another day. And I've also been using the Smashbox 24 Hour, also a really nice primer. These came out a little while ago. They're Smashbox, and I've been very intrigued by them. These are the Photo Finish lid primers, and I got it in the shade Smoke, which is such a cool concept. You put this on your eyelid as the primer and you immediately get a smokier eye. And they also have they have a light, dark, medium, which is really good if you have some discoloration on your lids that you want to cancel out. And then they have a white to really make those light colors pow. And then they have the smoke for smoky eyes. I'm very excited. So we are going to try that out. First thing I'm going to do, just because I have kind of oily lids and I want to give the product the best chance that it can to shine and do what it does best, I am going to take a little bit of my Urban Decay, just pat it in tiny little bit. And what I'm going to do, since I have hooded eyes and just because of personal preference, I'm really going to focus the smoke in the outer corner and then put on my eyebrows. Okay, I'm going to put on my eyebrows. I will be right back. Did my eyebrows. Now I'm going to be taking this guy. It comes, oh, it's kind of this like grayish brownish color. I don't know if that's in focus, but it's a grayish brownish color. And what I'm going to do is just really focus this on the outer corner, and then take my pinky finger and add my ring finger. I'm just going to blend it out just a little bit. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'll allow it. I'm just taking what's left on my finger and just bending it towards the inner corner just so that we don't get like a line. And I'm just going to repeat that on the other eye. I feel like you really don't need a lot of this. And it doesn't feel like, I can feel it on my eyelid, but it doesn't feel super tacky. I am going to set it. I always set my eyelid primer, so I'm just going to set it with my translucent powder on this guy. And the palette that I'm going to be using is just the Tarteist Pro. I am going to take a fluffy blending brush, just something sort of warm, basic, tried and true. I'm going to go in with the color Innocent. Really what I'm doing with this is just using it to blend out that like top edge, and it doesn't look quite as like stark and fingerprinty. I like this. It's a little bit darker than I usually go, that's for sure, but not a bad thing. One thing I will say, I wish that I had blended it out a little bit more on this side, just like on the side, just because that edge can be a little bit hard to blend out. So something a little bit more, yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with it. And I'm going to do my other eye really quick. Alrighty, I have finished my eyes. I threw on a wing, and I have 2 products left. The first is the NYX Faux White liner in White Smoke. So I'm going to bring you guys in, obviously, and I'm going to pop this sucker into my waterline. Come in like a blue, the purple, a yellow, a pink. They come in so many different colors, and I am so into a good colored waterline. And I'm totally into a waterline that like is bright, and you know, you cancel out some of the redness and some of the tired lookingness, which is especially good because I'm getting sick. And you just kind of pump it up a little bit. So I think it looks really good. You tell me what you think, because I can't see how it looks in the monitor. Last thing we have for the haul is another Smashbox item. I went a little Smashbox crazy. This is the Smashbox Be Legendary Liquid Metal in Mauve Squad. I have tried it. I do love it. Super pretty. And I like the little, this reminds me of the cap of the Too Faced Peach lip oils. It has that little like, I don't know what to call that texture. I don't know. I like the cap. The cap is cool. The doe foot applicator is really unique. It has a curve and then like a point to it, so you can really go in and even use it as a lip liner. It is a gloss. And I hate glosses. I hate glosses. But I like this one. I think it's nice and pretty. It's nice and opaque. The coverage is really good. My lips have just been super dry lately, so I'm not trying to put anything too drying on them like a liquid lipstick. I You really can just carve out, just line your lips with the tip and fill in the rest. I also like that it's metallic, and on the box it says metal mouth. It's just kind of like boom! And that is the finished look. We'll say this starts out a little bit sticky, like most lip glosses, but that stickiness does go away. Not like completely, but it does like ramp down a little bit. So that is my haul. That is my goodies. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that, you know, maybe there's some products in here that you've been thinking about trying, and this helped you decide whether you wanted to try it or maybe pass, save up for something else. Totally awesome. I'm all for that every single time. So, see you later.
Who's a flatness? Purchase, who's pretty?